Hey everybody, welcome back. If you've been to the channel before, if you haven't, hello and welcome. My name's Catherine. I'm a professional tarot card reader. It's literally what I do for a living. But on this channel, I like to post little videos on how to read tarot cards, what the deck is made up of, major and minor arcana, the suits, and do little intro videos and some more in-depth videos to give you an idea of what the cards mean, how to do a spread, how tarot card reading is done. And I was just really sort of contemplating this idea of people learning to read tarot. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I really don't like the vibe that some people have of you have to be gifted. Not anybody can learn to read tarot, you have to be special. Ick. No, you don't. There's nothing special or amazing or woo-woo about being able to read tarot cards. It's a skill like anything else, and you can learn. With that in mind, I wanted to have a quick talk to you today about tarot training, courses, learning. Being a professional tarot card reader, I get things that crop up on my feed all the time on social media. Obviously, because I like things that are about tarot, I post things that are about tarot, and the algorithms do their thing, and they shove lots of stuff about tarot at me. So I get to see all the stuff that's being pitched. Here's the thing. Some of it is great. Some of it is a bit ick. Now, I do push the idea that anybody can learn to read tarot cards. I stand by that. I've even done a couple of courses, largely out of curiosity. I wanted to see what was on offer out there. It's easy to go to the library and get a book on reading tarot cards. It's easy to buy a deck of tarot cards and read the little booklet that comes with it. Sometimes it's the teeny tiny little white one. Sometimes, for example, it's something like this that comes from the Magical Nordic Tarot. See, it's not wildly substantial, but it certainly has a reasonable amount of information in it about various cards. They're a good starting point, but sooner or later, people might start to feel like, I want some extra help. And as a society, I think we've gotten to this point where we like to have somebody who we feel is more experienced tell us how to do this thing. Now, if we're talking about being an electrician or a plumbing, that's probably really, really smart. When it comes to something like tarot, there's a great opportunity out there to be taken advantage of. Let's just cut to the chase. I don't want you to be taken advantage of. As I say, I've done some of the courses largely just to see out of interest how other tarot card readers do it. I'm always fascinated to see if people read in a different way, they interpret cards differently, they use different spreads. And inevitably, when you do these courses, you meet a lot of like-minded people, because let's be honest, not everybody is into tarot. A lot of people will think you're very good. It's okay. But when you do these courses, you meet all these lovely like-minded people, either physically or online. Virtually everything has moved online these days, so a lot of the courses are run online. Here's the thing. There is no one single way to read tarot. There is no one single meaning for a card that's carved in stone. You cannot interpret it any other way. It's just not the case. So somebody who is teaching tarot is teaching you their method. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you remember that it's just their method and it's giving you information. And, you know, there's something that people say a lot these days: take what resonates with you and leave the rest. When it comes to learning to read tarot, that is a great motto. I have heard it said on tarot courses, one that I did quite recently, don't buy books on tarot. Just do all my courses. Books on tarot, most of them are written by people who've never read tarot cards. It may or may not be true. Some people who write books on tarot may have read cards quite a lot for themselves, for friends or family. Maybe they just don't have a website publishing the fact that they read tarot cards professionally and saying, here are my rates. I will read your cards. I myself do. Plenty of people don't. That doesn't mean they're not qualified to write a book. Also, it's a very, very icky and naive idea to think that just because you don't actively participate in something, you have nothing to say on the matter. We use the idea of history and archaeology. The people that go out and do the digging and the discovering are usually relying on somebody else's academic work. Somebody else has trawled through the manuscripts. Somebody else has looked through the maps and plotted where these places may or may not be. Somebody has translated ancient texts. The contribution those people made is incredibly relevant. And the same can be said for tarot. Just because somebody doesn't charge money for their readings and have a website today does not mean they have nothing to say. That said, it doesn't mean their book is gospel either. But I will show you a little pile, a much bigger pile on the bookshelf. But here's just a sample pile of the ones that I like to refer to from time to time, or enjoy reading. Now you would say, if you have been reading tarot cards for a long time, 3 decades, a long time, and you do it professionally, why would you need to read anything? Because it's interesting to hear somebody else's take. It's interesting to hear somebody else's interpretation and to think, I wouldn't have thought of that. Or, ooh, no, that wouldn't work for me. Or, yeah, that's a great idea. I like that. I'm going to make a note in my tarot journal. If you've watched any of my other videos, you will know that I recommend keeping a tarot journal to work out your interpretation and how you feel about traditional interpretations. So feel free to go back to some of the introductions if you haven't and see what I say about the journaling. It's very helpful. So by all means, go to the library, go to the bookstore, read the books. Now, courses. To do courses or not to do courses? That is the question. I'm not inherently against courses, but I am inherently against people paying a huge amount of money to have somebody sit and say, this is the way I do it. It is the only way. It's the way that works for me. Don't do anything else. Don't read tarot books. Don't do any other courses. You can't do all this intuitively. Follow my lead. I get especially annoyed when they want to issue you with certificates. It's a nice thing to hang on your wall, but let's bear in mind, where are these certificates coming from? I can start a tarot school tomorrow and put together a course, lots of little videos, lots of little PDFs, nice book, and I can say to you, this is my way of doing it. You do it this way, you'll be able to read tarot cards in an amazing way. And when you're done, I will send you a certificate because I am the head of the Catherine Lenihan Tarot School. Who's going to authenticate that? Who's going to say whether or not I am qualified to teach you or whether or not I'm qualified to issue a certificate? You know what I need in order to issue you with a certificate? A printer. I don't mind courses. You want to enroll on short courses to learn something, whether it's Udemy or something that came across your feed on social media? By all means, as I say, I've done it a couple of times out of curiosity. I just don't want anybody getting fleeced by somebody who says, I read tarot cards really well, I make loads and loads of money, now you can too if you do it my way, and because I'm going to give you this certificate that is going to qualify you. Qualify? Who's the governing body that's issuing these certificates that qualifies you for anything? And they charge hundreds and hundreds. A couple of them I've seen in the thousands. Anybody can learn. You don't need to learn from some bigwig who says, this is my way of doing it, and I'll give you a certificate, and that is worth paying the thousands. Having said that, I'm going to introduce you to my tarot course. I'm not. Really not. My videos here, entirely free, no paywalls. I have talked in the introduction of maybe putting some stuff together with Patreon if people are interested. Generally speaking, though, I'm going to keep my videos here. I'm going to keep making these videos. You can drop in, learn a little bit more about the suits, learn about how tarot decks are put together. There's mini guides to the individual cards' meanings. There'll be other guides on what the numbers mean. So do the 2s have anything in common with each other? Do the 3s have anything in common with each other? Things that will help you remember. We'll talk about how to find your own intuitive meaning for the card, how to interpret it your way. We're not saying throw the traditional meaning out the window. We're saying use that as a skeleton and flesh it out with your intuitive interpretation. What does it mean to you? And these little videos will show you how to do that. If you want to enroll on a course, that's okay. But do it with your eyes open, and please, please, please don't get hoodwinked into paying hundreds and hundreds, thousands of pounds to learn from somebody who is special. Anybody can learn. Get some books, watch some videos. I'm not even just going to promote mine, although feel free to like and subscribe, and there will be plenty of content for you. But there's plenty of stuff for free all over YouTube, all over the internet. Anybody can learn to read, and the resources are out there. It will not cost you a penny. So please be very mindful when things start showing up on your feed about training and becoming professional and getting certified and getting certificates, these kinds of things. And at the moment, things like that are really, really big and being heavily promoted. Cost of living crisis. There's lots of people taking advantage of that by pushing this whole, you can have a profitable side hustle. Let me show you how, but you have to invest in yourself first by paying £1,000 for my course. Please, please, please don't do that. There we go. That's all I'm going to say on that. And keep watching my videos. Learn a little. If there's anything you specifically want me to talk about with regards to tarot, different decks, how things work, particular cards, particular spreads, anything like that, just drop a comment. I'll read the comments and I'll see if we can put together a video that answers your question, because I really want you to be able to learn, and I don't want you to feel like you have to go and take an expensive course in order to do that. Thanks. Bye.